Let's now again continue with the topic we have interrupted in between. So, abstract factory. So, abstract factory offers the interface for creating a family of related objects without explicitly specifying their classes. Okay. In other words, what we can say, this abstract factory is a super factory, okay, which creates the other factories. Okay, factory which creates the other factory or other factories. It is a super factory which creates the other factories. Now the fifth pattern is builder pattern. So it is, someone is unmuted, please mute it. Builder pattern, it is used when there is a complex object structure. Okay, so when we are having a complex object structure, to make it easier one, this particular pattern we are going to use. It provides the easy interface to the complex internal representation and to the outside world. Okay, it separates object construction from its representation. Object construction and representation, these two things is separated by this particular builder pattern. Okay, the example is given here: multi-course dinner. So for the multi-course dinner, we are having menu card in which the all the courses are divided or differentiated by particular type. Okay, if you see the menu card, you can see that it is divided into the courses type. Okay, like drink, starter, main course, dessert. So that is the example of builder pattern. In in this pattern also, we are going to design our problem in a same manner. And then after, the prototype pattern. So prototype, you know about, we make different prototypes of a single thing or single particular problem. So this particular pattern allows fully initialized object instance to be copied or cloned. Okay, we make a clone of it. Moodle, sorry, new objects are created by copying the prototype or clone. Rather than creation of new object, it uses cloning. Okay, means particularly we don't need to create new objects, but whatever we have cloned or duplicated, we can say, that we can use for further execution or further design making. So if the cost of creating a new object is large and creation is intensive, so we clone the object, or in that particular case we use this pattern. Okay, it allows an object to create customized objects without knowing their class or any details of how to create them. Okay, so till now, it is up to this point, it sounds a lot like the factory method pattern, and the difference a bit being the fact that for the factory, the palette of prototypical object never contains more than one object. Means in the other patterns, in most of the other patterns, we don't want more than one object. So in this particularly, instead of creating new objects, we can use the clones of it. Okay. The pattern uses abstract classes for implementation. As we'll see, only three types of classes, making its implementation rather easy. Okay. Then structural pattern. After the creational pattern, now we have seen in the definition what we'll do in the structural patterns. We show the relationships between the classes and the object. We decomposed. The decomposition is there in this particular structural pattern. So again, structural pattern having this five subtypes. Okay. So first one is having five subtypes and second one is also having five. So you have to remember, structural is having proxy, decorator, facet, adapter and flyweight. So first is a proxy pattern. An object representing other object is nothing but the proxy. Okay. जैसे आप proxy लगाते हो वैसे ही same proxy pattern. So it acts as a proxy of another object or acts as another object. So a placeholder to another object that controls the access to the main object. Okay. Means instead of the original one, we place the proxy in between. Okay. So the linear alignment is given there, how they actually, it is a program, proxy and remote object. So the proxy is in between. Example is also given there. See, proxy attendance. Credit debit is a proxy for a bank account. Then the second one is decorated. So some extra parameters added to the object. Additional responsibilities are attached to an object dynamically without changing the interface. Okay. As per the need of the application, extra objects will get created in this particular decorator pattern without changing the interface, and the responsibilities are handed over to that particular objects. So easy to add behavior at runtime to that particular classes or particular objects. Example is also given here. Please read it. Okay, so as per the need of the situation, we actually manage the things. Okay, or we actually do the particular whatever necessary for that situation. Okay, if you want more, you can add it more, or if you want less things, you can manage it with the less thing. So that is we can achieve same in the design pattern with the decorator pattern. On e-commerce sites, price of an item changing dynamically according to the response. So that we can achieve by the decorator pattern. Then the third is facet pattern. A subsystem can have many interfaces. Facet provide a single interface as unified interface to a set of interfaces. So instead of using all of these interfaces, you just need to uh, access a particular interface, that is a facade interface. Okay, so it makes your design a easier one. Or if you are having a complex structure in which you have to access number of classes and number of objects, so you can actually access it through the facade pattern. Okay, or this facade class, facade interface, sorry. So Example of event manager is given here. Event manager, a single person can handle all of the operations of your event. So it is actually works as a facade interface. Okay, decoration of the place, food, drinks, invitation, music, group, all is all is managed and controlled by the single one. So this is actually the example of your facade interface. Then online order also the second example. All are done by a single click in business layer. So facade come into picture means actually here we are using the facade interface. So the diagram is given here. You are having client classes and the subclasses. So client classes need to access the subclasses, but it is the structure in the first diagram. You can see it is somewhat complicated, complex structure is there. So you can make it easier one with the help of the facet pattern, right? In which you apply here facade interface. You can see it here in this diagram, so that now you make the complex structure in the easier one. Okay, next diagram of the same facet pattern. Okay, next, this is also the same diagram. Clients need to access different methods and different classes, but cannot directly access it because it is having the complications. So it uses the facade interface to access all of the rest classes and objects. Okay, fourth pattern, fourth particular subtype of it, this structural one, is the adapter. So it match interfaces of different classes. Okay, it matches to the particular interfaces of a different classes, so that they will get connected to each other. Okay, and they will finally solve some motive. Okay, so that is called as a adapter. The name is given adapter, uh, that you will understand by the diagrams. Okay, in the next one, first we'll see the definition. Interface of a class is converted into another interface as the client expects. Okay, so as per the need of the client, the interface will get changed. Okay, two or more incompatible classes can communicate with each other. Okay, and the example is given here as a power adapters. Okay, so by just remembering the adapter, power adapter, you will get an idea of adapter design pattern. So now you can see in this particular diagram, uh, see, unless and until you have an adapter, particular adapter, you can not get access to it. Okay, so in this first diagram you can see your existing system. Okay, so will it get attached to the vendor class? It is not possible, because see the uh, interconnection will not get possible, because both are having the different interfaces. Okay, so it is not possible without an adapter. So you will provide the adapter in between, and then you will get access to the particular vendor class. Okay, in the second diagram you will get a clear idea how adapter how the adapter pattern is actually works. Okay, it connects your existing system to the vendor class. Okay, so that is the role of adapter design pattern. The same example, or the same another example of the same design pattern is given here, in which the client requests to the adapter because it can't actually access the adapter. Now in this diagram particularly you can see it is a 2 pin, but what is needed, 3 pin adapter is needed. So particularly the client what will do, it will request to this particular adapter middle one, and then the adapter implement the target interface. Okay, implement the target interface and holds an instance of the adaptee. Okay, and then this client can actually get the interface or actually get the access of this particular adaptee. Okay, translate the request to the adaptee. Adaptee is having its own interface. So this is a particular example of adapter design pattern. Okay, the same is given here. The same concept is there, but the example is another one. Okay, now you have to play audio player, media player, or you have to play VLC and MP4 player. So for both of that you need a media adapter and the audio player. So in this particularly they are here actually the advanced media player is your adapter. Okay, that is used by the media adapter and audio player. Okay, so that is a example, another example of adapter pattern. Now see in this particularly why we need adapter, because client does not have directly access to the particular product or what the client needs. So client needs vendor libraries, third party API, and old function. So it can't get a access directly, so it will go through the adapter. Okay, the adapter is in between. Okay, many diagrams are given for the adapter pattern. Flyweight. Now what this flyweight pattern is, large number of objects can be shared efficiently. Okay, in this particular flyweight pattern, reuse the object without creating the new ones each time. Okay, there is no need to uh, to create the new objects. Instead we can reuse the previous one. The common part of various objects is stored and shared via a flyweight object, a fine grained instance used for efficient sharing. Okay, okay, like in example, PSTN uses only the limited number of lines efficiently. Okay, you are having a bunch of lines, but in that only the limited number of lines we used. So this is the diagram of flyweight design pattern, class diagram. It is a class diagram. Okay, in which you are having different concrete classes you can see below. Okay, the client want to access some product, but it get accessed by the flyweight factory. Flyweight factory class is the intermediary in between. You can see in this particular diagram. So that is the flyweight pattern. The example is also given here of the aeroplane, in which each aeroplane common information like type of aircraft, seating capacity, speed is stored at one place in flyweight objects. Okay, which will be shared by all same kind of objects, and the unique information of each aeroplane like serial number and manufacturing date etc can be saved differently in final objects. So the class diagram for the solution of this problem is shown in this particular image. You can see this. Okay, so you can see in this particularly in the flyweight factory, the whatever the common things are there, the or whatever the types of aeroplanes that are used in this particularly, that are actually in the flyweight factory, and whatever the other objects are there which are common, these are in the model one. Okay, and these are accessed by the particular aeroplanes, and the same or uncommon things like the model number, manufacturing date is in the aeroplane, so that is accessed by particular uh, particular classes. So that is the example of flyweight pattern. Okay, so now for today, or for this particular current lecture, we'll stop here only, because the most of the part is it's still remaining now, it still remain. So we'll get continue it in the other lecture. Okay, that will see today only, but the timing I will let you know. So for today, or for this current lecture, let me say you bye. I'm leaving. Just give me a minute to mark the attendance. Okay. So we'll meet in the next lecture. So for this, thank you, and I'll leave from here.